Hi, it's Jay from Iridescent Tarot, back with some more sparkle for you. So today I wanted to talk about a deck so good that I bought it 3 times. Not really. I bought 3 different decks and they are all very, very similar. And I kind of just wanted to do a flip through and comparison, talk about the 3 decks and see if maybe similarly to my comparison of 3 abstract decks, if maybe I could kind of trim it down, and potentially move one of these along. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. I talk a lot about keeping my collection as curated as possible. And so when I start getting like 2 or 3 in the same category, I know it's time to take a serious look at whatever that deck type is and see if there's any room for trimming. So right here we have the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck by Melissa Salvaggio. And this is a mass market deck. I think originally was indie, then went mass market. This is the Roots and Wings Oracle by Kat Riles. And then this is the Inner Ecology Oracle by Stars and Soil. And right off the bat, they're all smaller than standard tarot size. They're all like mini decks or travel size decks, which I obviously like. And they're all very heavily nature-based. A couple of thoughts right off the bat with these. The When My Soul Whispered, I have a little bit of a sentimental connection to this deck because my husband did buy this for me. We were on like a little weekend getaway and he bought this for me. And so I think that I'm attached to it for that reason. And so I actually don't like being gifted decks because then I can't think about it clearly. It just like attaches more meaning to the deck than I would like in order to be able to like make decisions on what should stay and what should go. So this one I kind of have a sentimental connection with. The Roots and Wings I really like, and I think partly it's because of this nice rose petal finish. And also I made this tarot tube sock bag, knitted bag for it, and I thought that it matched the little green like background color well. And so I just like the way that this feels, like the rose petal inside of my knitted bag. Like this just feels super cozy to me. And the Inner Ecology Oracle I bought more recently. And obviously it's the only one that has the shiny gilded edges, which I know it's such a stupid thing, but like I really, really like gilding. And the When My Soul Whispered has matte gilding, but something about like the shiny gilding really does it for me. And so even though I had similar oracles, like this one just wouldn't leave my brain. And now that I have it, I'm like, well, I need to do a comparison. So for When My Soul Whispered, we have this 2-piece box. We've got the matte gilding, but it still has like a little bit of shine to it. These are the backs, they're honeycomb. And we've got this like nice chunky thick guidebook. One of the things that I like a lot about this deck is that it has the chakra cards, and the rest of the cards that have like heavy color associations also have chakra associations. So I don't know, I like that about this deck. The cardstock is like nothing to complain about. I don't see any issues here. Just thumbing through them like this, I feel like there's a lot of white space. It's like a little bit more white space than I might like, but I don't know. I think like this one does the job well, and it has that sentimental meaning for me. Small little thing is I don't love the font at the bottom, but it's not terrible. It's just not, whatever. The Roots and Wings Oracle comes with this interpretation booklet rather than a little white book. I don't really find this all that useful. So you kind of have the word, the keyword, and then to me, you're like a little bit on your own. It comes with extra cards that make up this garden spread. And one of the things that I'm attached to with this deck is I really love the font on this, the handwritten font. And I know that different editions don't have that handwritten font, so I'm afraid if I get rid of this one and then want it again, I won't be able to find this specific copy. Ugh. One of the other things that I know that I don't love right off the bat with this deck is that there are a couple of cards that are like tarot majors in it. And I feel like if I want tarot energy, I go to the tarot. I don't like having like repetitive energy in an oracle, when I go and try to make a pairing, like I don't really want to have majors in my oracle deck. So that kind of like, I don't love that about this deck. And then the Inner Ecology, this comes with this little pamphlet. It's almost like the in-between of the other two. It's not a huge guidebook and it's not a tiny little pamphlet. Each card gets its own little page, a little bit of a write-up, and I think that this is a nice happy medium. I like this book a lot, and it's got the spread in there, which is nice. Let's just take a minute for the back into the gilding combo. Like, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And the color palette on this one is probably the warmest. It's got like this burnt umber, deep navy blue, medium tone green. It's definitely a very cohesive color palette. It gives me desert vibes. Oh, and for the curious among you, the nail polish of the day is this Bee's Knees lacquer. I don't know. This is like, it's a little bit more taupey brown than I anticipated. And my perfume is this diptyque, oh man, I can't pronounce this either, Benjoin Boheme. This has notes of benzoin, Peru balsam, rock rose, and patchouli. This is beautiful. It's not my normal scent profile. It's definitely like a nice ambery patchouli. It's really good for the fall. It's like more, it's not super serious. It's more of like a lighthearted benzoin scent. So I moved you in close for this. Obviously, since they're oracles, there's not gonna be like a one-to-one matchup, but if there's any cards that I notice are definitely repeated throughout the decks, I'm gonna set those aside and see how much repetition I can pick up on. The When My Soul Whispered is 44 cards. The Roots and Wings Oracle is 63 cards. And the Inner Ecology Oracle is 54 cards. And like I said, for cardstock, this just feels like normal, basic US Games cardstock. This feels like nice, normal, matte indie cardstock. And then the Roots and Wings is rose petal and delicious. I do like the font on this too. Okay, now I'm feeling like they're not as similar as they were in my brain. I feel like Inner Ecology is very much based in the earth and focusing on the metaphors of the different like parts of ecology. Like, yeah, I think that it really like fits that niche well. Whereas When My Soul Whispered and Roots and Wings are a little bit more broad and have keywords that are wider. I like the more organic look of these illustrations compared to the more finished look over here. I just prefer that like more messy, like hand painted quality. This is one of the cards that I feel like looks very similar to Kat Ryle's style because she does a lot of like the arched tops. See this, I don't know, I'm not feeling that artwork. It feels too finished, kind of like Line Strider Tarot. So Death, we have one major. I'm setting aside cards that are repetitive for the tarot for right now, or if I see anything repetitive between the decks. I'm feeling like When My Soul Whispered is giving more emotion words and thought words, And this is more earth words and ecology words. And then this is like broader keywords. Tarot. I love fractals. Tarot. More tarot. I would consider this to be the Emperor card. See, there's a lot of overlap there. That's like the Lovers. Tarot. I do love this keyword though. I hate that illustration. That's beautiful. Tarot. I feel like we already saw this card. That was in this one, so we'll save that aside. Tarot. 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 Okay. Let's just take a look at these two. Huh? There has to be a storm card over here. Yes. That's the Empress. Wait a minute. Mother and Earth Mother. Okay. Two Empress cards. Okay. Okay, so it took me a little while to separate out. It literally looked like that guy with the red string meme trying to figure out what things connect with what, but I think that I pretty much have narrowed it down to a couple different crossover categories here. So we've got two sets of cards that cross over all three decks. And this is just from like messing around with it for I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes trying to see what crosses over and matches up. There are 2 keywords that all 3 decks have. The first one is abundance. I dislike this card. I love this card. And I love this card. And the second one is transformation, which I gave a little bit of artistic forgiveness here with metamorphosis, but I think that they were all trying to get at the same thing with the butterfly / metamorphosis transformation feeling. Dislike, like. Then we had quite a few matchups with Roots and Wings and Inner Ecology. So they both have a storm card. I love both of those. Seasons. I like both of those. Fire. I like both of those. Time. This is more man-made and this is more nature-based. I like them both. The star or stars. I like them both. And the sun. I love them both. Love both of these cards. Okay, that didn't help me at all. So it was 6 cards that were the same in Roots and Wings and Inner Ecology. For crossover between When My Soul Whispered and Roots and Wings, we've got Intuition. This is one of the chakra cards, I believe, and that doesn't really do much for me. Wisdom, same exact. Like, both of these are kind of meh. Journey. This more reads journey to me. This, like, I don't know. I don't necessarily think of Ouroboros as the journey, but grounded. This, I did very much dislike that. And then divinity and the divine. This I like better. Balance. I don't know. Worker bees are known to be worker bees. Like, they don't have good balance. They have no work-life balance, those bees. So I don't really think that that's a great card to depict balance. That's okay. It's not great. So there were 6 crossover cards between When My Soul Whispered and Roots and Wings. If I'm going to complain about how many Roots and Wings has, I wanted to kind of get a feel for how many the other decks have too. So When My Soul Whispered had 1 Major Arcana card, that's a strength card. Inner Ecology had 2, Earth, which I'm considering the world, and Death. And then if you count the 2 that were crossed over with Roots and Wings, you have the Sun and the Star. So technically there were 4 Major Arcana cards in Inner Ecology. And then for Roots and Wings, we've got Earth Mother and Mother. For the sake of just simplicity, I'm going to go with Earth Mother being the Empress. So that's 1 Emperor. I'm going with this as the Lovers. That's a half. It's a half point. Strength, Death, the World, the Moon, the Magician. Oh, they have a Lovers. Okay, that makes my choice easy. That doesn't count. The Star and the Sun. So there's 11 Major Arcana cards in Roots and Wings. And if we're going to get technical, since this one had this deck had the most cards in it, had 63, I could, if it bothers me that much, take these out. That brings us down to a 52 card deck. And if I take the 4 out of Inner Ecology, that's a 50 card deck. And then if I take the, what did I say? Was it 1? Yeah, just strength. So that would make My Soul Whisper a 33 card deck. So even if I take out these cards that for some reason just bother me irrationally, this still would be the deck that had the most cards in it. So that's a possibility. So if nothing else, at least I was able to kind of get my thoughts out of my head and into the world of kind of the similarities and differences between these 3 decks. I don't know that necessarily I'm able to just clearly cut one out based on what I've just done. I feel like after my abstract deck comparison, it was very clear to me that Dream Dust Shamanic was like gonna go, but I don't feel that same level of clarity after looking at these three. I think I like the artwork on this one the least. And that's hard for me because if I don't like the artwork, then it shouldn't stay. But it has sentimental value. And I like the tactile sensation of this one the best. But I don't like all those majors, but they can be removed and it's still like a decent sized card deck. And I like the ecology aspect of this one. I really like the metaphor that runs throughout this deck. I think it's the most different in that regard. And I like the production quality of this one the best. Gosh, I don't know. I wish they didn't all have such like open white space sometimes, because that's what I feel like gives the impression that they're all the same. But having like 6 of the same here and 6 of the same here, it just feels like a lot of overlap. Help. All right, let's pull one card from each oracle and see what they have to say. This is When My Soul Whispered. Not super flexible cardstock here. Listen. Girl, what am I supposed to be listening to? Y'all sound the same. The word listen contains the same letters as the word silent. Ooh, interesting. Many people claim to be good listeners, yet fail to possess the innate ability to really listen. People often take an active role in listening to one another, adding comments, remarks, opinions, and expressions of reaction to what they're hearing. True listening goes beyond that which can be heard with your ears. Listen for the subtle nuances. Consider pauses, the thoughtful stares, the wistful gazes. Listen with your heart. Hear the words and allow them to evoke within you a response that gives rise to empathy and compassion. Allow others to really feel that they are being heard. Suppress any urges you have to comment or pass judgment. Allow the story to come forth unsullied by the lens which you see the world. The more you listen, the more you will learn. And so the blue color here is throat chakra. My light, attentive, aware, open, willing. My shadow, closed, obtuse, imperceptive, narrow-minded. My sacred words. I realize that the most important words are the ones that are unspoken. When you hold a seashell to your ear, it's easy to hear the whispers of the ocean, every wave as it hits the shore and gently recedes. As you listen to the stories of others, make sure that you pay attention to the small details, not letting yourself be distracted by your own thoughts and feelings. Roots and wings. Nice shuffle. Super flexible. It just feels very nice in the hand. Death. Ooh, it's saying goodbye? Okay. Not to be feared. This is about closure, putting something or someone to rest in your life. A big change and shift, letting go of what is holding you back. Does Roots and Wings want to go? Inner Ecology. It's got that matte UV swish. Communication. In forests all around the world, fungi facilitate underground networks through which trees can communicate with each other about incoming pests, drought, and other stressors for which the trees must prepare. Squirrels use a specific chirp to alert others to nearby predators. Most organisms communicate without the use of language. In fact, language can often be a barrier to communicating effectively. It can be difficult to say what you feel while also hearing others with empathy and compassion. Communication requires intention and practice, and this card invites us to explore the realm of conveyance. Learning to speak your truth and listen deeply to others is important work for building self-love and community. So I'm getting very, very similar messages here between listen and communication. And I think that they're both asking me to rein in the red string memeing with this and just really listen in and try to hear what the decks are communicating to me. And I feel like they're both pointing, they're both like, listen to what's being communicated. This one's dead. Like, this one's gone. But I don't really want to listen to that yet. So time will tell. So I hope that was helpful to anybody who's considering any one of those three, or any two of those three, or any three of those three decks, to see the overlap, the similarities, the differences, try to make a decision. I know for me, I need to take a little bit more time with these to listen to what they're having to say, and time will tell which stays and which goes. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will talk to you later. Signing out.